Thank you very much. You can't imagine how sad and grieved I feel that I end up one of the last speakers in the last session of the round table. And because I was just thinking back to the discussions of today, beginning with Amartya talking about utopia and how we should really not abandon utopian thinking, how useful that is, and then later references to the idea of not only about solutions but about questions and problems which may be difficult, but in company it would be so useful to discuss them. So I was thinking to myself, as my colleague mentioned, how wonderful it would be to have this gathering perpetuated in one way or the other. And I know Khadija is exhausted with organizing, but perhaps she would give support to a new reincarnation of this group. And one of the things that I would love to bring to it is the vision thing regarding women. Let me just set forth the problem, even if I'll set forth the problem, and I hope that in the short time that we have to get some response from you, because to tell you the honest truth, in all the women's groups that we gather in the events and the conferences, we couldn't get people like to pay attention. It's always was mentioned about breastfeeding and children. The women's issues are somehow considered important, but something important that someone else should be doing. And so it's very good to have you almost imprisoned for a few minutes to perhaps listen to our captive audience, to listen to the question. Now the question is this, the background for it. We all know, of course, that rights of women are a product of history and culture. We know that throughout the years, centuries, everywhere in the world, there has been a division of roles, a complementarity and a subordinate position of women uniformly across cultures, across religions, across national boundaries, and very similar in essence, although diverse in the way that they show themselves. And only rather recently has there been a change in historical terms. You know, it was only the very end, last decade of the 19th century when, for the first time in New Zealand, a woman got a right to vote. So before that, no woman anywhere on earth could either vote or stand for office. So what I'm saying is that that reality is there with us. And we know that changes have taken place, and a lot of changes have taken place, especially the last 30 years since the first United Nations Conference on Women and the following conferences that were related to it, and of course in the Beijing platform and so forth. Changes have taken place in issues that had to do with the external or the outward signs of women's lives mostly, that is, transfer of women from the private sphere to the public sphere. How do you get women to help with the development process? How do you educate women so that they have better brought up children? How do you get them to do productive roles in agriculture? Whatever. But what we